Welcome back, Album Book Club viewers. This week we're finally doing that song review we promised you. We asked a bunch of viewers to comment songs that they loved and wanted us to review, and that's what we're doing in this video.
Ready to get into the first track?
Let's go. God, I was getting so prepped.
Alright, that first song, if you couldn't tell, is Sttoil Boon by Big Dale, suggested by Big Dale himself.
Big Dale, man. Yeah, we've listened prior.
We have heard this.
I don't remember what I gave it last, but I'll give it like a 7.
I gotta give it an 8.
Yeah, I think I gave this like an 8, but I think knowing the artist helps.
I don't know. The only complaint I really have with this song is when Dale purposely does not rhyme and then goes into his, like, what I like to call Lee rhyme scream. Is I did it happily, salt and battery. It's not bad flow, but he starts it without rhyming a word that if you just gave an syllable to would have rhymed.
Yeah, that song is one of the better ones off of that album. One of the best, truly, that I think Big Dale has made.
Honestly, so it's super funny. They were like, "Yeah, you're gonna pick this mix apart," but I don't know. I probably would have enjoyed some more clarity in the vocals, but these Sonys may not be as broken in as mine, so it may be some of that.
That is certain, but also insider information. It may or may not have been recorded on a Yeti X. So,
All right,
ready to get on to the next one?
I reckon. Oh, that's a 180. That's a good bar. Oh, hey.
That track was Figure It Out by Ian, suggested by the Album Book Club's very own Sean.
Sean, that's like a 5, my friend.
I was also thinking a 5. I'll bump it up to a 5.5, I think.
I don't know. I want to say I hated it, or that I liked it, but I kind of just I feel like it's right in the middle. So yeah, 5 or 5.5 is probably right.
Kudos to the production, at least through these headphones. It sounded pretty solid. The rapping was off time.
Rapping's off time. To me, the vocals kind of sounded like, I don't know, like it was recorded on a Yeti Snowball, maybe?
So it almost sounded like there was like a radio voice effect like put on it. It was kind of interesting. My note was like, I wonder if they recorded this over a phone conversation or something like that.
I feel like it's too clear for that. But
Okay.
It definitely was an effect of some kind.
Yeah, there was something weird. I also never like when a song starts with just That's not.
They did moan.
That's not my thing,
Steven's
I was to say we're missing Steven for this one. Would have got a bonus point.
The Steven bonus, the moan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Grown men moaning in his ear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Moving on.
There's so much left. There's so much left.
Yes. If you can believe it, that song is titled Black Thunder by The Who, suggested by the Soup Man. Soup Man.
I forgot how much I actually hated this song. I have not been a fan of The Who ever. Like, they did like Wolf Totem, which was solid because there's like a lot more Mongolian throat singing, and then believe it or not, they turned into Imagine Dragons with Mongolian throat singing. So this is like 5.
I'll give it a 6. I didn't hate it, but I think the chorus is way too repetitive, and they probably could have chopped a minute off the end of this song. Probably would have done it some good.
3, solid 3. I literally wrote down, wow, this is the worst Nickelback song I've ever heard. I wrote down there was a verse by Kid Rock in the middle, but he was Irish Kid Rock. I wrote, please didgeridoo, don't do this again. It's for someone. I understand why it exists. It's not me. I'm not that someone. So I'm sorry that
Say, I feel like my 5 was an I do hate this song, but it gets 5 points out of respect. It's got a song structure, so it's a song.
I mean, I'll give them points. They didn't just walk up to a keyboard and press a button and say some lewd things over it. So they spent more time than Robin Thicke did on Blurred Lines, but I don't know.
Ready to move on?
Well,
Hopefully this is not worse.
oh, he was writing a number down. I thought he was already going.
Got notes before the song even starts.
I like the different chord there.
Yeah.
Instead of just being Forever Young.
That was Somebody Loves You by Patti LaBelle. Suggested to us by Lamont from Instagram.
I gotta give it like a 6.5.
That sounds about right. 6.5.
He's currently adding this to a playlist.
Yeah. Yeah, like 8, maybe 9. I mean, this was such a fun.
Patti LaBelle is a phenomenal singer. There's no denying that. The problem I have listening to her is the same problem with this. There's a lot of chorus the whole time.
To be fair, I liked the chorus of this song a lot more than I liked the verses. But it wouldn't have killed her to say a couple other things in said chorus.
Yeah, it's not a bad song by any means. It's just really too much of one thing, and then holy key changes. Weird key changes.
The first time I was like, man, that didn't belong, but it settled back into the other chord. I don't know. I wish there were more than like 5 words. That was probably the only thing. I mean, she did a lot with them. I mean, the groove was incredibly solid. The musicians were all slamming. You know, from the time period, the sounds are a little cheesy by today's standards, but even then, you know, the FM synthesizers, all that stuff are all super slamming. I mean, the whole backtrack is awesome. My only real notes were like the background singers could have not been there sometimes.
There was one point towards the end that I think they should have come, but everywhere else I thought was alright.
That was Google AI that said Patti LaBelle was in Hercules. No, she was not in it. But that's very, very similar kind of vibe. I don't know how long it's been since you've seen it, but like the pottery scene in Hercules where they're all like singing and dancing, that's like one of my favorite Disney musical moments. I was totally just taken back into it. It kind of made me wish I had like I don't know, black grandma to show me good music or something. Like, I don't know. I've never felt like I've wanted that before now.
Alright, let's get this next one over with. You can hear how this influences Joey.
Yeah. Well, there he is again.
Right there.
That was a Celebrity Status by Marianas Trench, suggested by Lamont once again.
Like a 6.5 again.
I thought it was alright. I'll give it a 7.
It's like a 7, yeah. I think Lamont actually has pretty good taste so far.
I would have given it a 7 till the end. Got a little too muddy. I don't know if it was the headphones or...
It might have been... I don't know.
It was pretty bright in these compared to especially the last track. The whole track was a little on the bright side.
That, and then just like something sounded a little off to me in just the end of it. And then there was also that weird like half breakdown.
It almost sounded like the drums were taken over a little bit just at the end. When you mentioned it, that's what I heard, but I don't know what was actually going on there.
During the breakdown section, the drums pulled up in the mix a little bit. I heard them kind of pull forward.
But it was like the very last time.
It was that little breakdown, yeah, because it was like once it kind of sounded like the vocals were scooped out of the rest of the track. That's why they were so clear. Mm-hmm. And then when the vocals were done, the rest of the track pulled the rest of the way up. Whatever they had used to scoop them, they cut out for that last little outro, which was, I mean, pretty cool. I don't know, my problem with a lot of this stuff, I don't know what genre you would technically call this. Kind of pop punk, not really.
Like alternative. It's like heavy rock, maybe hard rock.
I don't know. It kind of, as much as I hate to say it, reminded me of My Chemical Romance. That's kind of like the vibe. Yeah. A little more pop punk. A little more of that
to like
drive.
the Fall Out Boy.
I was thinking older Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
oh, so like a and
like
that
older Panic at the Disco.
And see, it kind of reminded me of Panic. It just, and my problem with a lot of that music is the same thing that you just said. It's fun to play. It's fun to be at a concert. The recordings make it sound fairly inauthentic because it's kind of a sold out genre. They kind of took things that were very, very energetic, very, very forward types of music and just kind of commercialized it to nth degree to make it palatable for mostly white girls. But there's not a problem with that. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. I enjoyed all the variation and stuff in the track. There was a lot of cool stuff. It kept my attention span going. Kind of short attention span for all the kind of... At the beginning, I was like, what kind of Jonas Brothers song is this?
As I said, the little bridge at the beginning that hits a couple of times, I was not the biggest fan of, but I was fine with the rest of it. I liked most of that.
Sometimes the background vocals might have been a little done for the genre too, which is what made me think of some of those bands. But overall, fun listen. That's what I would.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh hell yeah! Sean fucking hates this band with like his entire soul.
So this song we didn't even have to pay attention to. That's the best kind of song. I listen to the song every fucking day.
That was Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace, suggested by Solo with a smiley face at the end. Somebody on YouTube.
This is like an 8.5.
Yeah, I agree. 8.5.
8.5.
It's what can't you say about this song that hasn't been said? It's been out for what, like 2 decades almost.
Yeah.
If not even almost. It might be out for 2 decades. I don't remember. But the bass part's iconic. It's that killer driving part. It's not a super difficult song, but it's got that drive and catch. It's got the AC/DC effect, where it's just the right amount of drive, just the right amount of like power and go, and it's catchy as hell. So.
I can't hear this song without thinking of the Wolf memes right now, where he's like ripping off his jean jacket, but
Like the Grim Reaper memes.
yeah, where he gets on his motorcycle and drives away. But yeah, no, other than that, it's a good song.
So this is prime Carl in high school music. In case you're wondering exactly how old I am. 1X was always on one of the playlists. You know, this takes me back a lot because this has gotten a lot of flack since then. So typically people that like 3 Days Grace are my age. A lot of the younger generation does not. I don't know, I guess they see it as hokey, but this and like Breaking Benjamin or things like even like Chevelle, even further back a little bit. That's like my bread and butter.
So you're hitting all the sweet bands. I ain't heard a single dislike.
Yeah,
You like Sleeping with Sirens?
I don't know who that is. Is that familiar?
Too late for you.
Probably. No, I man, once you go jazz, you never go back, unfortunately. But fond memories.
Fond memories of the olden days.
It's like when I used to play rock. I don't know, man. It comes out every now and then. You know, like now that I've been playing at a church, there's a lot of the stuff that's kind of like, they're not like heavy breakdowns, but I like throw in breakdowns every now and then. People like 80-year-olds out in the audience are like, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, I remember this stuff. You know, the band I was in played a lot of this stuff too. You know, a lot of 3 Days Grace, a lot of. We actually played a lot of Yellow Card. We had a violin player, so that was cool.
Let's keep it going.
That accent.
Hmm?
That accent.
That was Teddy Picker by Arctic Monkeys, suggested by Spotted Rock.
Yeah, give that like a 7.5.
I give it an 8.
9.
Like that.
I think everything I hear out of the Arctic Monkeys that is not Do I Want to Know, like 505.
Dude, it fucking
It's
ruined the
great.
band. It literally,
Yep.
that album, it's like, you see the Arctic Monkeys, when you go back and listen, you're like, oh yeah, and then it hits Do I Want to Know, and then it just goes, but then everyone knows who they are.
Yeah.
So now they can look up the old stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Am I on crack? Are the Arctic Monkeys the ones that are also Blur, the lead singer?
No,
Is that another
that's Blur and the Gorillaz are the same.
Gorillaz, okay.
The guy in Blur is the Gorillaz.
Okay.
No, the Arctic Monkeys is there's a singer, Alex something. He had a slight solo career, I think, for a minute, but it didn't take off. This is probably my favorite album of theirs. This is prime high school too, so I guess you got like Muse and Vampire Weekend in there next. You've got 3 in a row now.
Oh, I wish.
So yeah, it's great energy. Very British.
Oh, yeah.
But it's yet again another example of simple yet effective. There's not a single thing in this that's really particularly hard to do. Now, hard to replicate one-to-one? Yeah.
I have a kind of a problem with the Arctic Monkeys overall, where I wish they had recorded to a click track or had a slightly better drummer.
They did get off time.
I forgive them more now because I've learned kind of some of the ebb and flow and stuff. Man, when I was in high school, this music would have been like, it would have been top 5. Arctic Monkeys was one of my favorite bands. I love the energy. It's just, man, dude's trying hard, but it's out of time almost all the time. Anytime he plays with Phil, anytime they take a break, anytime they do this or that. And, you know, like I said, I appreciate that they recorded the album pretty live. But I've always had a problem with, like, timing in the Arctic Monkeys songs. A lot of my friends used to give me shit for hating on them. But Other than that, I mean, like I said, I give the song a 9.
Move on.
Yeah. What the fuck? Darth Vader's dead?
Listening to country music on the album book club killed fucking Darth Vader. I hope you're happy.
All right, that was If You See Him. Hold on. It's too long of a title. I need to. If You See Him, If You See Her by Brooks and Dunn with Reba. Suggested by Herman Palmer off of YouTube.
Yeah, I give this like a 6.5.
I'm gonna go with 5.
Wow, I feel like an asshole. 4.
I can get mine out of the way. I mean, it was okay, but I'm never gonna go out of my way to turn on country.
I don't have a fundamental problem with this era of country, other than the fact of most country stars aren't from the places where the accents originate, so they just couldn't make it in another genre and then donned an accent to be able to sell music to someone else. I mean, they could have changed their music to be about
Not
Jesus, and could have sold music anyway, even though they didn't have a career for him. But yeah, truck rock is considerably worse. I won't listen to truck rock. It's not even this. Classic country I appreciate because a lot of it is more like jazz roots, especially in the beginning. You know, a lot of the records I actually do buy come out of the country section because a lot of instrumental country is jazz. You know, a lot of that has a crossover, especially in the beginning. And this is okay era country. It gets kind of hokey, but it doesn't hold any memories for me because a lot of that are like the 2000s country stuff is like what when I was growing up was around because, you know, growing up on a farm, I guess that's new lore. Growing up on a farm, you can't escape. You know, you really can't. So somebody's got the country station on, and hell, I need a John Deere parts. I got to go into the John Deere tractor dealership. You know, that stuff happens. But this is not my era. I'd rather have like Boot Scoot and Boogie if you're a Brooks and Dunn fan.
Yeah, I like Brooks and Dunn. Play Some Country's big that era, which I think this is not that far out from. But this is old Reba. Unfortunately, in the version we listened to, don't know if there's another. Not gonna check. Because she was my least favorite part of this song. And it was just because there was too much Reba. I think when you put Reba on just a Reba song and let her do her own little thing, well, it's her song, she can't mess it up. You put her with other people who can do the same things as her pretty much vocally. I mean, the Brooks and Dunn vocals are phenomenal. And then you add another phenomenal singer that's not kind of meshing with them who already have a chemistry. It gets a little weird in there. It's not a bad song. The guitar solo was fun. I enjoyed that. It is a simple, I think, like 3-4 chord.
I mean, in certain settings, like if you're in a party or something and there's country in the background, it's not really an issue, but I in my head, there's better things to play, but I get it that there's a time and a place for it.
And I appreciate that the faux pas weren't overdone in this one. You know, my favorite thing is, you know, now that country is becoming what it is, you just slap a slide guitar and a violin into songs that have no reason for them, and now they're a country song. You know, that there was none of that happening. There was a tasteful string arrangement. This was one of the times that I was like, oh, I actually do like violin in country. You know, or fiddle. You know, I do like that. I just not.
What did you give it again?
4?
I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't listen to it again, but it didn't like make me want to stab anybody.
Been to one of my shows, and I'm in a country band, and you didn't seem to hate your life the
like
entire
I said,
time.
there's a time and a place for.
It is true. If you're around a party crowd,
yeah.
If everyone's having a good time, that's the time for country. Like if you throw on Red Solo Cup at a house party,
no, I'll be pissed.
Well, you'll be pissed. That you know what? That's very fair. But if I were to throw on, I don't even know, like Boot Scoot and Boogie at a house party, everyone go fucking nuts. I go nuts. Spice Girls.
Not quite.
Not the Spice Girls. Ooh, that's got some groove.
That was Don't Let Go by In Vogue. Suggested by Herman Palmer once again.
It's like a 7 out of 10.
I give that an 8. I like that a lot.
7, yeah.
I think the bass was really all I cared for the whole time. I mean, the vocals were great, but the bass carried so much it was very empty. I think they could have used guitar. If there was one, it could have used turned up. just to fill in a little bit.
Yeah, I
of
don't know
gap.
if there was. I didn't hear any guitar, but honestly, I don't know if this song needed it.
I don't mean like anything other than just chords,
Well, yeah.
or like a piano or something to fill in.
I do think there was a
spatial.
piano, but I think it was quick.
Bro, that snare drum sounded incredible.
Everything was great about it. It was just empty. It was,
I don't think a song like this needs to be super full. I think it has enough.
maybe it just needs cleaned up. Maybe that's what it was. It was just a dirty empty of like pay piss, but it's an old song.
Yeah, could be.
What did I give Black Grandma song earlier? Was that an 8? I'm gonna go back and give this an 8. I feel like they're at least equal.
That was
I think
Patti LaBelle earlier.
Patti
Yeah,
LaBelle.
that's right.
That's it. Yeah.
That feels like an eternity ago, actually.
Yeah, I have long-term, short-term memory loss.
So this is going to my playlist.
These
Go ahead,
last
send me
two
the
will.
song. You didn't love the music this much last week. What the fuck? I don't think he's pieced it together.
That was. Nope, that's the wrong one. That was Nevermind by Valley, suggested by our friend on YouTube who asked originally to not be identified. So we're going to keep doing that.
And if you would like that changed, comment on this video.
Probably going to be in the next one as well. So
Is this Valley?
this is
This is
Valley.
Valley.
This was not on that album.
No. No, the guy who commented on our review, he watched all of it, and he was like, yeah, this is, like, not a good album.
Oh, because this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pissed.
That's what I'm saying is, like, I think I might be a Valley fan, because I liked last week's, and I like this more.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna text Natalie Shea, like, thank you, I didn't know I liked Valley.
Jesus.
You accidentally made a Valley fan.
For real.
You accidentally made 3 Valley fans.
I didn't know I needed this level of white girl. Maybe Carl's just transitioning to white girl fall. Is that what's happening?
It is White Girl Fall.
Here's the thing. This sounds immaculate. Like, what the fuck? Is this like their last album? Is this like their
me
first
check.
album?
This is their first album. God, I'm so excited for what their second album is. If the newest album is their worst album.
Well,
Yeah,
so
for real.
the only thing I can figure out is that they cheaped out.
That's possible. Holy shit.
Holy shit. This is their third of like fucking 9 albums.
Okay.
All I'm hearing is tomorrow I'm doing a deep dive on Valley.
Alright. Let me get my notes real quick.
This is like a 9.5.
I was gonna go 9, 100%.
Yeah, 9. I liked it.
I loved the last Valley album we listened to. I love this pretty much more. This is great.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Production seems noticeably better too, and it was already great. Like all the complaints I had prior were like not present in this song. I think it was just maybe a touch long. Shave off like maybe 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, don't listen to that other Valley album that we already did. Listen to only this track. It's all of the good parts of that entire album in one track, without all the bad parts.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this random song review. This is a first episode, so we will take your comments and suggestions on what we can do better. So leave those down below. Also, if you want to see us review more songs, leave those down below. This should be an infinitely growing list, and we hope you come back to see us shit on yourself again. Thanks.